On her final day in office, US Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard released a fresh set of documents that she described as never before seen. Files on the origins of COVID-19, a move that has once again reignited one of the most controversial global debates of the past decade. In a video posted on X, Gabbard made a series of explosive claims. She alleged that Dr. Anthony Fauci, former head of the US National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, and one of the most influential figures during the pandemic, was linked to funding gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China. Well, this type of research involves modifying viruses to study how they might become more transmissible or dangerous. But the claims didn't stop there. Gabbard further suggested that Fauci not only supported such research but also worked with elements inside the US intelligence community in order to shape how the origins of COVID-19 were interpreted. And according to her, this included efforts to promote the theory of a natural animal origin while sidelining alternative possibilities, something that she says was done to distance the funding and research from scrutiny. She also went a step further, alleging that Fauci misled Congress under oath and played a central role in controlling the narrative around the pandemic's origin during its earliest and most uncertain stages. Now here is where things get even more controversial. Gabbard described what she called a three-step pattern. First, she claims funding was directed towards risky virus research. Second, she alleges intelligence assessments were influenced in order to support a natural origin explanation. And third, she says Fauci positioned himself as the leading authority on COVID-19, while publicly reinforcing that same narrative across government and the media platforms. However, when the documents themselves are examined, the picture becomes less clear-cut. The files are heavily redacted and mostly consist of internal emails and communications between intelligence officials discussing pandemic-related research and policy concerns. Well, much of what Gabbard is pointing to appears to be interpretation rather than newly confirmed evidence. And it is also important to note that US funding connected to the Wuhan Institute of Virology has been publicly reported for years, and debates around gain-of-function research were already ongoing long before these files were released. The so-called diffuse research proposal, often cited in discussions about COVID-19's origin, has also been part of the earlier investigations and public reporting. And still, Gabbard claims that the documents reveal a deeper pattern of suppression inside the intelligence community. She alleges that whistleblowers faced retaliation after questioning how COVID-related intelligence was handled, and says that there was an internal effort to silence dissenting views. So what does all this actually mean? But well, for now it adds another layer of political fuel to an already heated global debate, but not a final answer. The origin of COVID-19 remains unresolved, with scientists and intelligence agencies still divided between competing theories, including natural spillover and accidental lab leak scenarios. What is clear, though, is this: that Gabbard's release is likely to intensify the argument in Washington and beyond, especially around accountability, scientific transparency, and how government handle high-risk biological research. And the bigger question now returns to the public debate once again. Are we any closer to knowing the true origin of COVID-19, or is the mystery still far from being solved? That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.